Hello, friends. We are in baby step 2, eating until you're satisfied. Okay, so this is probably the hardest. I should say, actually lately I've been studying contentment and satisfaction a lot lately. So it's actually been easier, but this was definitely the hardest thing for me to figure out because when I was hungry, I was hungry. I wanted to eat. I ate and like all of a sudden I'm stuffed. How did that happen? Okay, so baby step 2, eating until you're satisfied. What does that look like? And before we talk about the great practices I put in here, I wanted to share with you a story that is actually in the Bible. And whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, I hope this wisdom really helps you in learning to be content with whatever you have. So let me get it pulled up here. Move this here. Okay. And it says, it's a story about a guy named Paul. Okay. Paul used to be a Jew, and after Jesus came, he actually persecuted the Jews, or not Jews, he persecuted Christians, and then all of a sudden becomes a Christian himself, and then is like this super fired up Christian, but he goes through some really intense stuff. Okay, as a Christian, he used to be loved and now he's hated by everybody, especially in the Jewish community. Not just that, he had been flogged by the Romans. He multiple times, not just like one set of flogging, but if you ever research flogging, it's super intense with the torture mechanisms that the Romans did. Woo, crazy. And he had been shipwrecked. He had been left for dead. He had been sent to prison. And at the end of his life, he didn't die a peaceful death. He was beheaded. Okay, this guy went through like the ringer in his life. And as going through that kind of intense persecution, this is what he has to say. And this is so powerful. He says, "For I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or an empty stomach, with plenty or little, for I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." Now, if you are not familiar with Christianity, Christ is God to Christians. He is the Son of God. He is himself God in the flesh. And so, and I think of and internalize this to the Creator, right? God is the Creator. And like I said in I think it was in the Getting Started video, I said, have you ever seen anything else in nature other than a human be obese? Except for dogs that live in houses because humans take care of them. But anything that is just in nature, is it obese? Trees, plants, grass? No, they're not. Nothing in nature that is wild in creation is ever obese. And I feel like learning contentment is a spiritual journey. It's not just this journey of learning how to feel satisfied. I have some practical steps on how to do it, but it's all about finding contentment. And finding contentment is about finding true joy. And joy is way better than happiness, right? Because obviously this dude, Paul, he went through hell on earth, but he had joy. He found contentment with whatever he had, which was sometimes nothing, which was sometimes not even his own life, but he had joy. And if you look at my PDF, I highlighted in my great practices some ideas to do for yourself. And some you might connect with and some you might not. But what is it going to be for you? Before you're hungry and before you eat, I encourage people to think about how hungry you want to feel. So being connected, baby step 2 is about being in connection with baby step 1. Knowing how hungry you want to be to eat. to how do you want to feel after you eat. And I like to think about this before I eat. Before I'm hungry, I think, how do I want to feel today? Today I know I have a babysitter, which means I'm going to be working today. So how do I want to feel at lunchtime? I want to have a lighter lunch because I want to feel energized in the other half of my day. So I think, okay, I want to feel like mildly hungry. And so maybe like a 5 or 6, I want to have dinner with my husband. And I think about how do I want to feel after I eat, which I want to feel energized. And this is me today. I'm going to be honest. This is just my thoughts that I've had today. I want to feel energized. I want to feel like I can carry on and I don't need to take a nap in the middle of the day. So some thoughts I was thinking about for lunch is I might have half of a ham and cheese sandwich. That might be all I need, because dinner I'm going to make a Cuban dish. I'm Cuban, so we have a lot of Cuban food in this house. I'm going to make some arroz con picadillo, which was our dinner yesterday, but it's leftover. So love leftovers. Don't want to cook tonight. That was the other inspiration. I want to enjoy my arroz con picadillo, which is a ground beef dish, and rice, if you don't know Spanish. And so that's how I thought about my choices. And at dinner time tonight, I do want to feel grounded. I want to feel like, I can go to sleep shortly afterwards. And I want to enjoy my meal with my husband because we're both having the same thing tonight, because today is his Friday, which I love it, even though it's Thursday. But you don't know that. You could be like, reading this like 3 years from now, or going through these videos 3 years from now. We'll see. But anyway, so that's how I think about with being satisfied. And honestly, we're going to talk about this in baby step 3 too, but it's all connected together. So being satisfied is about how do you want to feel after you eat. But I like to think about it before I even eat. I have to think about my day. I like to connect with my day. I have what's called a quiet time in the morning. Lately, with a toddler and an infant, it's not so quiet, but it's a time for me to be quiet in my mind, to think about, what am I doing today? What do I want to make? What kind of foods do I want to eat? Those are different things that I think about in my quiet time in the mornings. And if you notice, guys, I have these little block in the PDF, and that block is for you to print this out and to write it down. I'm a huge journaler, and if you are too, I want you to journal with yourself about, what do you think about these ideas that I'm throwing out to you. I want this to really resonate with you. I want you to get something out of this. And so other great practices that I do are, after preparing your food, decide before how much you want to eat or you will eat. After making my food, I make my plate and I make this mental decision. I'm going to eat this much food. And then I'm going to reevaluate myself afterwards. How do I feel afterwards? And so when I cook, I prepare my meal, prepare my plate of food, and I say, I'm going to eat this much. And I think, okay, we'll see how I feel after that. I eat it afterwards. You know what? I actually feel pretty good. I don't think I need any more food. Awesome. Sometimes I'm like, I'm still hungry. Holy cow, I'm still hungry, especially on a day I work out. Woo, I get way hungrier when I work out. And so then I'll maybe make myself half of that next amount. Then my next plate of food will be half of what I first had. And then I eat that, and then I reevaluate. Do I need any more? Or am I pretty good? So that's how it works. It's about figuring and talking to yourself. Also, enjoy each bite you feed yourself. I love taking bites of food. I love the process of chewing now. I love enjoying the flavors that are in my mouth. And food tastes better when you're hungry versus when you're just mindlessly eating. I turn off the TV. I don't do other stuff while I'm eating. I enjoy my meal, and I enjoy every bite that I take, and I'm grateful for every bite that I take. And then I don't like eat ridiculously slow or anything where anyone notices that I'm like all in my own little world, but I definitely take mental notes of how I feel about the food I'm eating. And then also, my last tip is, let's say you're out to dinner, right? Yeah. You don't know how much they're going to give you a lot of the time, unless if you've been to this restaurant before. So what I like to do, if I notice the food is a lot of food, I'm like, man, do I really need this much food? I say, okay, I'm going to first eat this amount, right? I'll first eat half of it, if I even can eat half of it too. Maybe you wouldn't say, I just want this little quarter right now, and just say like, that's this, it's like this much or however much. I'm trying to make it look right there. Like maybe say, I want to have this much that's on the plate. We'll see how I feel afterwards. And then once you finish that bit, continue conversation with whoever you're eating with, right? Enjoy the setting that you're at. Enjoy the moment. And if you're like, you know what, I'm still really hungry. Okay, then let's make another little portion of food, or however much is on that plate. Take a look. Okay, how much do I want to eat? Let's try eating this much. Okay, cool. We'll have that much food. Eat it. Enjoy the moment, right? Enjoy where you're at, where you're eating, the ambiance of the restaurant you're going to. Maybe this is a place you want to go visit again. Enjoy the people you're with, if you're with people. And then you're like, you know what? I'm pretty good. Oh my gosh, I got half a plate left. I got some leftovers. I love leftovers. I used to hate leftovers, but now I do love leftovers. I just feel like you just have to know how to warm it up if it needs to be warmed, except for salad. I never take salad leftovers. But those are just some great practices that I do that I think will help you to just learn how to, it's not even about losing weight. It's about learning yourself. And that's what I love about these baby steps. Losing weight should align with everything else you want in your body, everything else that you want in your life. To be truly whole, or what people consider true wellness, is not just your physical health. It's your mental health. It's your, believe it or not, financial or your career choices. That health too. It's also your social health. Social health is important. Your family is important. Your spiritual health is important. And your physical. There's 6. I can't think of the 6th one. Maybe I'll do that in tomorrow's video. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.